This week we are flying to Sweden to see a mystery Volvo. It's my first time ever going to Sweden, so I'm very excited for this trip, so come along with me.
It's our pleasure to welcome you to Amsterdam. Local time here is 5:37 a.m. There has been a 6-hour time change.
And we have finally arrived at our hotel. Pretty standard, nice room for Europe. An interesting thing is the beds oftentimes are like two narrow twin beds combined into one larger bed right there. Quick peek at the bathroom. It's also about pretty standard. All right, this is where we'll be for the next couple of days. I have a couple hours to relax for a bit, do some work before dinner tonight. All right, today is the day we get to go see the all-new Volvo EX60. That is the mystery Volvo that we have both been flown to Sweden to come see.
It's very cold and very snowy here.
Very, very cold and snowy and wet and gray. So it feels like home to me, Michigan, right? You poor California boy.
It's a little different than SoCal right
A little bit different, but we are trying to get to the Volvo facility. I think they have manufacturing, a studio space here, and like engineering. Yeah, it's this massive complex. This is Volvo land. We landed at the airport and there's like EX90, EX30 in the actual airport
and
terminal.
On the roads, so
There's just
cars.
Volvos everywhere. So today we get our backgrounder slots. We're gonna go film some content, and then in the afternoon we're gonna go to the World of Volvo Museum. I'm very much looking forward to that. That should be fun too.
Yeah, it should be cool. Some models that we don't get in the US.
Absolutely. But the EX60, EX60 cross country, that's up next once we can actually get to the right gate to come through and enter. So this is what we flew all the way to Sweden to see, the new Volvo EX60. There's two versions. There's this regular one here and also the EX60 cross country. It's an all-new, all-electric mid-size crossover that sits in between the EX30 and the EX90, similar to where the XC60 sits in the lineup, but this is an all-new architecture. This is SPA3, Scalable Product Architecture 3. The original SPA gen came out with about 10 years ago with the XC90 and then underpinned a ton of different Volvo vehicles. SPA2 was actually pretty recent with the EX90 and the ES90, but this is SPA3 and it's got some pretty impressive tech specs and processing power. We have an NVIDIA chip, we've got Qualcomm CPU, we've got tons of capability to protect for future over-the-air updates, all the processing power that these newer vehicles need from everything, including driver assistance stuff, future abilities from that regard, to the user interface, the graphics, everything needs so much processing power, and this thing has it. And also, it's gonna come with AI now, right? Everything is AI this, AI that, but we're gonna have Google Gemini available here on the interior so you can have a conversation with your car. More abilities will be added, right? So you can have just more dialogue with your car. Maybe your car can become your best friend, but for example, like you drive past a restaurant sign, you can ask Google like, hey, what is that restaurant? Is it good? And anyways, like it's all advancing more and more, but Google Gemini is coming to the EX60. This one we're looking at here is the regular version. There's also the cross country, which is the slightly more lifted, more rugged, more aggressive, adventure-focused one, but I really, really like the way this thing looks. Let me take you on a quick tour of the exterior and interior. Around back, it tapers back. Aerodynamics are so important. It's a mid-size crossover, but it actually seems pretty low to me. It's almost like a slightly taller wagon, which I guess that's what crossovers technically are. But this one is a top-of-the-line loaded model. See all the badges here. There's a lot of little logos stacked here. The EX60, P12 all-wheel drive Ultra. So you can collect your badges like Pokemon, but the EX60 is a model. P12 all-wheel drive is your powertrain level. Ultra refers to the trim. You've got Core, Plus, Ultra. And then in terms of the powertrain, P6 is the entry-level single-motor rear-wheel drive, 369 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque, smallest battery pack, 310 miles of range with the smallest 20-inch wheels. As you upsize wheels, like this one is on big 22-inch wheels, it does damage your range a bit, right? You lose some range, but they look pretty cool. If you go from P6 to P10, it goes to dual motor all-wheel drive. P10 is kind of like the sweet spot in the lineup because it's got 503 horsepower, 524 pound-feet of torque, 320 miles of range, slightly larger battery pack, and it's very, very well equipped for around $60,000. Volvo is specific in not saying just well equipped. It's very well equipped. You get 360 camera, you get the pilot assist, you get 21 speaker Bose sound system. You get a lot of really, really nice features, adaptive suspension as a P10. But this one here, the P12 all-wheel drive, this thing, 670 horsepower, and 583 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, and because it has the largest battery pack, up to 400 miles of range. Now, this is going to be the most expensive one. The P10, very well equipped, starting around the $60,000 range. I wouldn't be surprised if the P12 Ultra like this, optioned up. It's got Bowers & Wilkins on the inside. It's got nice features. This could probably be at least $80,000, but this is all the bells and whistles, top of the line. We've got the Thor's Hammer DRL styling here. I love the individual little rectangles of light that form that Volvo shape. The headlights are down here, and then you have the typical smooth front fascia for maximum aerodynamic efficiency, grille shutters down there, and then there is a front trunk. Now, the front trunk is not power opening. It doesn't go up all the way. You do have to pull that switch right there, little toggle, and then there's another little toggle down here. Like, oops. There we go. So you do have storage here. So that's actually pretty decent sized. And then little cubbies here for like some of your roadside safety first aid kit stuff. And then this yellow line is to tell you not to fill up above that because you could damage your hood closing it. But there is an actual front trunk underneath here. Another really unique thing are the door handles. So to maximize your smooth aerodynamic efficiency along the doors, it's got these little fins here, a little bit of lighting along the edge, and then a little release button on the inside that you press that to release the door, but it gives it a really clean side profile. And we also have the frameless side view mirrors. It's all one continuous piece, which is really cool looking. And you can actually see how the body tapers in. If I come alongside here, you can see how it kind of curves down in, again, to make it as slippery as possible to get that 400 miles of maximum range. Around back, you have the vertical taillight element, and it comes down really sharp, a little bit more angular looking. And then we have the power release trunk here. Inside's got some really cool innovations in terms of like cargo. So you can fold this up here. This is actually the cargo cover that you can attach here, but it also can go into this little storage cubby if you want to leave it in the car, but you don't want it up there. But if I move this out of the way, that's a pretty deep storage bin. You can put groceries in here, you can hide stuff away, whatever you don't want to roll around in your trunk, and then it just simply folds down. There's a little split here, which is pretty cool. This also has some really interesting manufacturing improvements. Mega casting, which is a term for a manufacturing process where instead of, it's essentially a gigantic piece that all gets cast at once. It's actually in the corner over here. I can show that to you. So this entire piece comes out of this gigantic mold. It's the rear floor area, right? Instead of dozens, 70 to 100 individual little components that then get fastened together, it's one enormous mega casted piece, and this saves weight. They said about 70 kilograms from just this component being mega casted, which is more efficient. It helps your production, everything. So that's a new innovation on the EX60. This is minor, but it makes me so excited. Well, two things. One, window switches. You might be like, window switches? What are you talking about? Every car has window switches. Well, there's been some, like the EX90 and the EX30 for sure, where they give you two window switches and then a button instead of two more for the rear. So that button changes if the window switches are controlling your front windows or your back windows. So if you accidentally have the rear window selected and you're going through a drive-through, sitting here, and you want to roll your window down, you might accidentally roll down the rear window instead of the front window, which I just think that's not a great user experience. So they've gone to actual 4 window switches. Yay! But what's even better are the physical buttons on the steering wheel. So you see there's buttons here. It's all been redesigned. And then we have a volume control in the middle. EX30 has no buttons at all. So forward track, back track, and this little like crystal rotating knob right there, little dial. And then the steering wheel is actually rather small for a vehicle of this size. It's a Squircle. So flat bottom, flat top, but physical buttons that are illuminated. That's really nice. And I love, there's like essentially no piano black, no gloss black, which is literally fingerprint magnet, tracks dust, it shows everything. Instead, you get this like satin finish gray, gunmetal gray, including on the little toggles here for your transmission selector, your drive select, and also your turn signals here. They've upgraded this screen, which has really, really nice graphics. Like, look at that. The colors are very bright, very vibrant. This is a OLED screen in the middle, and it's actually curved the other direction, right? Instead of, it's actually convex, right? The angle away, which is really interesting. It's landscape oriented. It's an OLED screen, so the blacks are very nice. Lots of really nice contrast and vibrant colors. But I mean, the responses, the graphics, the visuals on this screen are very, very nice. Here's a quick menu for pretty much anything you want to change. The roof shading, right? There's opaque, and there is translucent, transparent, and then you can change various settings, your steering wheel adjustment, right? Your mirrors, it's all at one touch of a button. They're trying to minimize having to tap through a bunch of different menus. You see the suspension setting here because this one's a P12. The P10 and P12 have adaptive suspension, adaptive dampers. The entry-level P6 rear-wheel drive is just simply fixed. The air suspension is available on the cross-country version. We have all these various things here. Charging, sound, Dolby Atmos, car status, everything is okay. That is good to know. Well, that's a quick look at this. We also have the glove box has been moved to, if I can open it, oh, there you go, press down. The glove box is now here in the middle, and you get USB-C charging ports there. There's a wireless charging pad for your phone, and then the cup holders pop out like this, kind of like in the EX32, where they're hidden. You have a giant storage area here in the middle. So no glove box here anymore, but this is wood trim that you feel the texture. This is like a cloth piece there too. The doors are all covered in really nice leather, and it's all monochrome. So even the speaker grills, the Bowers & Wilkins speaker kind of blends in there. We also have multi-adjustable adaptive, what do they call it? Multi-adaptive seatbelts. It's the next generation of smart seatbelts that essentially have more different force settings depending on how much you weigh, what kind of accident or incident is about to happen, and it adjusts how much force the seatbelts use to just try to keep your occupants as safe as possible and not cause any extra injury, right, from over-tensioning a seatbelt or something like that. So that's pretty interesting, and apparently they're going to keep, once they have more data, they'll keep adjusting and improving with over-the-air updates. I always love seeing the little Volvo, the little Swedish flag there. Really nice materials along the seats. I really am liking the minimalist Scandinavian luxury on the inside. Also have some pretty cool ambient lighting at night. How do I go to lighting? Interior lights, ambience, forest bath, archipelago, midsummer. It's rather subtle. We were playing with them earlier, but that's some nice ambience inside. So there we go. There's the EX60. A quick look at the interior, exterior, talking about some of the details. This is why we flew all the way to Sweden. Snowy, cold, but it's really cool getting to see this thing behind the scenes. And now we're gonna go check out the World of Volvo Museum, which I'm really excited for. It's always awesome seeing these OEM museums because they have some vehicles, historic vehicles, stuff we haven't seen before, concept cars. So that'll be the next stop after we finish up our little studio session here with the EX60. Welcome to the World of Volvo. This is the Volvo Museum, and the building itself is really cool. Take a look at that architecture. So we're gonna go inside, check out what they have on display. And I've got some TikTok friends with me. We've got Omar and Drake. You guys ready to go learn some things? Yeah, you guys are the TikTokers.
We're defined as TikToks.
Although I just learned that Omar is a senior citizen TikToker because his age starts with 4. Whoa! Almost walked into that.
Let's go, both of us together.
Yep. This is romantic.
Back to back. I've never been this close to you, Eddie.
One of the first things you'll notice about the World of Volvo is the spectacular architecture. So much natural wood and curved designs, along with enormous windows letting in lots of natural light. The World of Volvo is also where you can do European delivery and receive your brand new Volvo in Sweden, enjoy it over there before shipping it back home. There was a fun mixture of historically significant Volvo vehicles and interactive exhibits. Here's the first ever Volvo made, the OV4, which is nearly 100 years old. Our tour guide Hans is from the Volvo Heritage team and knew absolutely everything about the history of the company. It was like walking around with a Volvo encyclopedia. There's a whole motorsports display, the first ever Volvo electric car, which looked pretty funny, some really innovative safety-focused concepts, and even a P1800 with over 3 million miles. If you ever get the chance, definitely give the World of Volvo a visit. Our last day in Sweden, and the Volvo team has set us up with a V60 press car. It's a wagon, so we're gonna be spending some time doing a little bit of touristing, but also playing around with a Volvo wagon, which just seems very appropriate when you're in Sweden.
Säg till att USB-kabeln.
You gave up.
Yeah. I think it means you need to plug in.
Where are settings? And then system. I don't need your translation. I can figure this out.
Reset options. Hold on. Stop. Accessibility. Subtitles.
Etterstallningsalternativ.
Cup of coffee.
What?
Legal information. Have a cup of coffee as.
What?
That's what it says. Under legal information, it says have a cup of coffee and read.
Believe it or not, this is what we do for a living. Wait, no, here. I did it.
Good job.
Australia.
Let's not confuse ourselves. Okay.
That is the Volvo headquarters.
Volvo World Headquarters, and then just up here, I think, is Polestar.
This is literally Volvo land. These are some of the new buildings they're building, and the cliff is now blocking the view. So.
And this is Polestar.
Oh, there's Polestar. Volvo wagon. We're in a Volvo wagon. Another Volvo wagon. They're everywhere. Oh, a Chevy Silverado 1500 drive by, and we've seen 2 Ram 1500 V8s. I didn't realize they had the trucks here.
I didn't think that GM sold. I knew that
another
Cadillac. Oh yeah, there's a Ram
1500 going by.
I knew that Cadillac has a few models for sale in Europe.
Okay.
And obviously they had Opel for a while.
Yeah.
GM at least. And Stellantis has its Euro arm.
PSA, Peugeot.
So maybe that's where they get the distribution.
They're big trucks for here.
Yeah, no. Although these roads, and I feel like the town centers aren't as small as like in Italy or France.
Yeah, I agree. A lot more space out here.
Yeah.
RSQA. That's a new one. Brand new. Car spotting in Sweden. Where are we again? Stronghala?
Something like that.
I think if the Swedish tourist board sees this video, they're not going to let me back in due to my terrible pronunciation of everything. This thing is quick.
Yep.
This is the T8 plug-in hybrid, and it's got pretty solid power and torque. We decided to come out to the coast, and this is really, really cool. All these little islands.
I feel like we're in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Minus the boats.
Oh yeah.
If those were all starships, we would be in a Star Wars movie. There's an F-150. So we've seen all the American pickup trucks. So we found an island, we took a ferry over, and we're like the only people on this island.
Everything is closed until Easter.
Yes, it is very cold. And we saw a castle, we wanted to see the castle. So we parked the Volvo, took a ferry over. It was a very cheap ferry.
Yeah, it's $3
Very quick.
for
It
both
took
of
like
us.
30 seconds. And now we've tried 3 restaurants and they're all closed.
We're gonna try a hotel, see if
Yeah.
they have food. And
Yeah.
if not, we'll just go check out the castle.
Yes. Random Swedish adventures in
Marstrand.
A fun final day doing a bit of random exploring in Sweden with the V60 wagon. Very, very nice vehicle. It's been a while since I've been in one of these. Yeah, I forgot. It's quite nice. Unfortunately, no longer available in America. But this was a very fun trip. Cold and snowy, but
Yes.
that's Sweden in January, obviously. And the EX60, I actually like it quite a lot.
I do too. It's wait, is this where I'm going?
Yes, roundabout that way. Americans confused by roundabouts.
Bus.
We are now bus.
I might be in a bus lane.
We are definitely in the bus lane.
Oops.
Oops. But it merges back in. It's okay.
Okay.
EX60. I like it a lot. I would do cross country with that dark blue interior. And actually, the spec they had it with the exclusive light kind of greenish gray exterior was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I liked that one too. I
Yeah.
think the cross country was more visually. I liked it more than I thought I would. I'm not typically a fan of the cross country variants in terms of styling because I think Volvos are sleek cars and so they look good with like the body colored fenders and stuff like that. But the EX60 cross country was pretty impressive.
See, I love the EX30 cross country. It's so much fun. And now the EX60, kind of just sizes it up a bit. Some of the power numbers are pretty impressive. I'm looking forward to trying out the P10 and the P12, and for sure the cross country with air suspension. And yeah, it was a fun trip. Lots of random little adventures.
Yeah.
It was also extra fun getting to share it with friends like Drake. And with that, we're heading back to Gothenburg. We've got some time this afternoon. We're gonna go to a museum, and then we have dinner, and then flying back to America.
Long travel day tomorrow.
Very, very long travel day. Hope you guys enjoyed this travel vlog slash adventure slash getting to check out a mystery new Volvo, the EX60 and EX60 Cross Country. Thanks for watching.
Bye.